The story you're about to hear is based on true accounts. A Spanish version will be available, as it is dedicated to a close family member. It was circling above us. This happened when I was a kid, sometime in the mid-70s. I don't remember the exact year, but I remember everything else. We lived in a quiet area back then, not completely rural, but far enough out that the nights felt darker than they do now. No street lights, no noise, just open sky and whatever you could hear in the distance. I had a couple of siblings, and during the summer, we used to sleep outside sometimes. We'd drag blankets out into the yard or set up this old tent my dad had. It just didn't have the full cover on the top. It was just mesh. So you could lay there and look straight up at the sky. That night, the moon was full, bright enough that you could see everything in that soft gray blue light. I remember lying there, staring up through the mesh, listening to the quiet. My siblings were already asleep. You could hear their breathing, slow even. At some point, I started noticing something. Movement. At first, I thought it was just a bird, something passing overhead. But it didn't move like a bird. It was too slow, too controlled. I kept watching it, trying to make sense of it, and then it passed directly over the tent. That's when I saw it clearly. It wasn't a bird. It looked like a man. Thin, too thin. Its arms were long, longer than they should have been. And they weren't just arms. They were wings, not feathered. They looked stretched, like skin pulled tight over something too thin to support it. Its body was narrow, almost jagged, like it didn't move smoothly, but in sharp, unnatural angles. And trailing behind it was a short, stubby tail. I remember staring at it, completely frozen. It didn't flap the way birds do. It made this slow, heavy motion, and with each movement, I could hear it. A low, thick sound, like fabric snapping in the air. It circled once, then again, and that's when I realized something that made my stomach drop. It wasn't just flying, it was circling us, like it was watching. I pulled the blanket up just enough to cover part of my face, but I didn't look away. Every time it passed over the moon, I could see its shape again. Long, thin, wrong. At one point, it slowed down. And just for a second, it hovered right above the tent. I held my breath, completely still, and I had this feeling that if I moved, it would notice me. After a few seconds, it moved again, started circling wider, higher. Eventually, it disappeared into the darkness. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I just lay there, staring up at the sky, waiting to see if it would come back. It didn't. The next morning, I didn't say anything. I knew how it sounded, so I kept it to myself. Years passed, then decades. I grew up, had a normal life, and eventually, I stopped thinking about it. Until about 40 years later, I was outside my house talking to my neighbor. He seemed nervous, like something was bothering him. Then he asked me, "Have you ever seen anything weird out here at night?" I laughed at first, but the way he asked it made me stop. He said he saw something flying. At first, he thought it was a bird, but it didn't move like one. He said it was slow, controlled, circling. That word right there, it hit me immediately. Then he said he could hear it, a heavy flapping sound, thick, not natural. When I heard that, my chest tightened. Then he described it. Long, thin, almost human, with wings that did not look right. And when he said that, I knew. He laughed nervously after, like he almost didn't believe it himself. But I didn't laugh, because I knew exactly what he saw. And I hadn't thought about it in years, not like that, until that moment. And suddenly, it all came back. The tent, the moon, the way that it moved, the way it circled above us, watching. I didn't tell him what I saw, I just listened. And for the first time in decades, I realized something that unsettled me more than anything else. It was never my imagination. Whatever I saw that night, it was real, and it was still out there. Because as he finished describing it, he said one last thing, and it stuck with me. He said it didn't feel random. It felt like it was looking for something. And when he said that, I remember exactly how it felt, lying there in that tent, too afraid to move, waiting for it to notice me. And I realized it probably had. And if it was circling then it's probably circling now. And it probably had never stopped. I think it's still up there. And I think it's possibly still looking. Thanks for listening.